Hey everyone, welcome back to Behind the Grape, where we like to discuss wines. We don't like to rate them, just talk about them, tell a couple of interesting stories, and hopefully shed some light on some fun wines in our marketplace. I think this week I'm going to look at some champagnes later on in the week and maybe do a podcast out in the park. Now that we're allowed to have alcohol in the park, why not do an episode there where we can see trees and blue skies and not the four walls of my basement. Today's wine that we're going to look at, we're actually going to go down to South America, to Chile. Chile is a place I'm dying to get to. I've flown into Santiago once on my way to Argentina, but I really want, after this COVID is over, or contained or whatever it's going to be, I desperately want to get to Chile and travel from the north all the way down to Bio in the south and really dig my teeth into the rich history of what is Chilean wines. Today we're going to look at the 2017 Errázuriz Aconcagua Alto Cabernet Sauvignon. This is 88% Cabernet Sauvignon, with the remainder being Petit Verdot and Malbec for here. It's from Aconcagua towards the north, and Aconcagua Alto. Alto is the highest piece of land on the Aconcagua site, and it's named after the Aconcagua mountain. In 2012, Chile came up with 3 new labeling features for their wines. They were Andes for places up and along the Andes elevation, Costa for regions along the coast like San Antonio, Casablanca, things like that, and then Ancho Cordilleras, which is between the ranges, which is where this wine would be labeled as Ancho Cordilleras for Aconcagua. It's planted at 600 meters above sea level, so great elevation. The climate there is quite Mediterranean, and it's really hot. They only see about 255 millimeters of rain every year. But what's really unique here is at night it cools down nicely with those cool breezes coming in off of the Andes. So you get this great intensity of heat during the day, and it cools down at night. Really helps to provide some balance and brightness to the grapes. Errázuriz itself has a great history. I believe it was actually January 23rd, 2004 was the Berlin tasting, where Errázuriz submitted 2 wines into this fantastic tasting among some of the world's best wines: Lafite, Latour, Sassicaia, Guado Altasso, I believe Chateau Mouton. And it was Errázuriz's Don Maximo and his Senia, which is a partnership between him and Mondavi, that took first and second place respectively, ahead of Chateau Lafite, which finished third. As you can imagine, 2004, that was a huge deal. And from that, it really helped move and propel Chilean wines, and in particular the reds, into new heights and into the marketplace. Those 2 ones that I mentioned obviously come in at much higher price points and are made quite a bit differently, but it does at least lay the groundwork of what the story is of Errázuriz and its importance to the Chilean market as it is today. I don't think anyone, especially in 2004. I mean, I was in Toronto, just getting into the wine game here, and you rarely saw anything from Chile, and never in a million years would you think that a Chilean red was going to usurp the likes of Guado Altasso, Tignanello, Sassicaia, Mouton, Lafite, you name it. It was unheard of. So really, Errázuriz is a big reason why Chile is where it is today. So let's look at the red wine. Let's look at this. This is a nice deep red wine. A little maybe a little violet on the outer rim. It's really clean. It's got great viscosity. What I love about this wine is the nose. It's black, blue, and red fruit. Like, it's a combination of all 3. I get stewed prunes, black cherry, black cassis, black currant. It's like some tart and bruised red cherry, some red strawberry, So just a little bit of macerated blueberry in there. But the non-fruit, I mean, there's like an Earl Grey tea, there's a cracked pepper, there's a big green stemminess to this wine. And in fact, you find it in a lot of well-made cabs, you get that green note, but it's really pronounced in this wine. Yeah, it's a little bell pepper, say a little bit of chalk, vanilla, cardamom, nutmeg, all those oak markers really front and center. It's really quite captivating. Wine does see it's 12 months in French oak, but you know, I could just smell this wine all day long, and now I'm getting violets and purple flowers, a little bit of cocoa nib. It's just so much going on. We taste this wine. Wow, great wine. All those fruits still there, the prunes, the plums, the strawberries, black currant, black cherry, the tea, the mint, the eucalypt, the green pepper, the bell pepper, the flowers. Oh, so good. Alcohol is medium. It's around 13.5% alcohol, I would say. Really fine integrated tannins. Like I can feel the tannins around the outside of my teeth, but they're not searing. Like it's not drying my mouth out, but they're definitely there. And the acidity is like it's a medium acidity. I have a little bit of salivation happening, but it's not overpowering. And certainly not to say that there isn't any acidity, because there is some good acidity on this wine. It's definitely a balanced wine. I mean, the oak flavors are there, but it's not masking the fruit. The fruit's not overpowering the tannins or the acid, and vice versa. Really quite remarkable. So I just got a whiff of that cracked black pepper. It just came roaring out of the glass. Now, I do this, you know, I put a steak on the barbecue, a little chimichurri, or green peppercorn, a nice roasted rack of lamb, or if I'm thinking South America, sorry, you know, I always think of the asados. Would put a big asado on and crack a glass of this, go a long way. Say, you know what, we don't really give a lot of love to Chile, but there's a lot of great stuff coming out of there, and Irazuliz is absolutely a phenomenal producer. The wines stand for themselves, they speak for themselves, easy drinking, not overly heavy. You know, for a red wine, it drinks quite light, I've got to admit. It's $21.95 in the Ontario marketplace, comes in through Danderand, but it's also available in your local vintages. So if you're looking for something a little bit different than, you know, our Napa Cabs or Bordeaux, take a look at South America, take a look at Chile, Irazuliz, and, you know, even take a look and see if you can find a bottle of their Senya out there. I've been lucky enough to taste it. It's delicious, but this is a nice way to get into it. So I hope you get out there, enjoy some Chilean wines, and we'll see you this week in the park.